I know. You're saying to yourselves, what in God's name are you doing up at this hour? And why do you think anybody wants to watch a Facebook Live? I don't. I'm just using it to practice. Hey, Colin. Colin Shook, man. Colin Shook, you need to come on the show with me, man. You need to talk about life and jazz piano and piano tuning. I've been on since last Thursday or Friday. Nate was on with his buddy Hans, and they talked about their band After the Storms. And I just wanted to come on and tell you what's coming this week. Got some great guests this week. Alejandro Escovedo on Wednesday is going to join me. And we're going to see what we can play, maybe some secret board tapes from live gigs or something that I won't get flagged for by the copyright police. And talk about what he's been up to, how he's been coping with all of this, and just have some great conversation. So many stories Alejandro has to tell. Then on Friday, drummer Tom Breckline is going to come on. So many drummers in Austin that I want to talk to. He just happens to be one that I was chatting with on Facebook Messenger. And who wouldn't want to hear Tom Breckline tell some of the stories he can tell? The legend he is. But there are so many of them in town, legends. Brannon and Daniel and, oh my gosh, so many guys that I could just do like a few months of just doing drummer shows. So maybe we'll do some of that. Colin plays drums too. I've heard him. He's pretty good. Colin Shook, ladies and gentlemen. Then on Sunday, I'm going to have on an old friend of mine, Vince Winkle, a journalist, radio journalist. He's worked for NPR and PRI. He and I used to work for a show that was on PRI back in the late 80s. That's when we met, became dear friends. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever known. And we're going to share some memories and a retrospective on a crazy video that we created years ago. That matter of fact, I think I'll show it to you. I think I need to just show you that video. It's that wacky. We're going to talk about it on Thursday, Vince and I, and maybe some of his family members come on and play some tunes. A very talented family. But this video is only about 4 minutes long, but and it's old and it's funky, but it's the very first video I ever posted on YouTube. I actually started a YouTube account just so I could post this video. So it was August 20th, 2007 when I posted this thing, and it was probably 10 years or more earlier when we actually created it. So you can understand the primitive nature of it. But this is us being silly like we like to do. So check this out. I'll be right back.
Do you see yourself in this crowd? We do. And without a scientific and logical approach to business travel in the decade of the 90s, you may soon find the world closing in on you like a trash compactor on the Death Star. Now, wouldn't you rather be a part of this crowd?
That's me.
These people are with it. They've overcome the congestion of the 90s and discovered a relaxing, convenient, and safe way to commute. They're in-line, on-time commuters.
Dig the music.
Now, let's get you started. First, the proper equipment is essential. The skate that's just right for you will make for a swift, hassle-free commute. This new skater has found an attractive skate, but it may not be right for his demanding needs. Now, that's more like it. A snug fit is essential to a successful inline experience. Lacing the boot properly is essential, but we suggest a new skater take extra safety precautions with optional knee pads, optional shoulder pad protection, as well as elbow pads, crotch protection, and full cranial protection. Now, let's move on to our next stage. Proper spacing between skaters. Our new inline commuter looks confident, but he's far too close to the commuter in front of him, hence this accident. And an unnecessary altercation. Proper turn signals. Our inline skater is using an improper left turn signal, hence another accident. And unnecessary altercation. Proper passing technique. Our impatient commuter can't wait for an open lane. He simply chooses to remove the obstacle to his unchecked acceleration. More courtesy would have prevented this totally unrelated altercation. Proper parking technique. Parallel parking is a breeze for the inline commuter. Simply locate a space, jump into the space, exit the vehicle, and pay the special reduced fare token. In summary, inline on-time commuting is here to stay, and by adhering to some simple and easy-to-remember safety tips, your inline commute will be a fulfilling and unforgettable experience. Remember, proper equipment, proper spacing, proper signaling, proper passing, and proper parking. Oh, and maybe we should mention proper concentration. Good luck, commuter.
Commuter. Commuter.
Bought me some skates, don't wanna be late. Can't stand those traffic jams and people irate.
Don't wanna be a
On-time commuter.
commuter.
Now I've got the speed, pulling into the lead. I've got a green light now and I'm the one to beat.
Now gonna be a
Inline commuter.
commuter. Commuter.
Pretty wacky, huh? So that was my my good buddy Vince Winkle, who will come on Sunday, and we'll talk about what on earth we were thinking about when we made that thing all those years ago. But again, Vince also, his wife Debbie and his daughter Yo and his son Jeremy. They're all musicians, and I think Yo might come on and play some songs. She's a very talented singer-songwriter, and she's just a natural on camera like her dad. So maybe we'll get them on Sunday night to play a little bit and talk some fun and funny memories. But again, this Wednesday, Alejandro Escovedo. Friday, Tom Breckline, the great Tom Breckline, played with Wayne Shorter and Chick Corea and Kenny Loggins and so many as the great drummer that he is. And then next Wednesday, I'm very excited that Carmen Bradford is going to join me. Carmen, most of you know who she is, but if you don't, she is a wonderful jazz singer and sang with Count Basie for a number of years when Count was still around. And she'll be joining next Wednesday. We'll play whatever music we can get away with playing of hers and talk about life and how she's coping and just music and how important that is to life going forward, so that we can remain civil people who commune and have community and work our problems out together and chart new paths together instead of arguing over bullshit. So that's it. I wanted to play one of Alejandro's tunes that I particularly love. Hey, Carmelo Torres joined. Hey, Carmelo, how you doing? Rick Fine, John Bayless. John Bayless is back. The great John Bayless. If you all missed the episode when I had him on, you got to check it out on my archives at scottlanningham.com/SLRadio. John is a brilliant pianist and was a child prodigy but didn't flame out early. He just kept getting better and better, doing amazing things. And he had tragedy in life and went through a stroke, lost the use of one of his arms, and is still playing the piano with one hand better than most human beings that I know. So he's amazing, and you need to listen to his story in that episode. And John's going to come back on again, aren't you, John? We're going to do some more talk and hear John play some more, because I've been talking to John about getting a really nice microphone for his piano. So that's going to happen soon. But I want to play this cut for you just kind of in anticipation of Wednesday night with Alejandro Escovedo, the great rock songwriter Alejandro. You know, you must know that name. Sheila E. is his niece, the great Sheila E., one of the finest drummers and percussionists in the world, and one of the most beautiful women in the world. God, I'd love to see her play live someday. I can't believe I've never seen her. But anyway, he comes from such a storied musical family. Uncles and brothers, I think uncles that played with Santana, brothers and that were artists in their own right, and bands with Alejandro and bands of their own, and just I've had the great privilege of getting to play with him, and he's a dear friend and such an inspiring artist to work with. He's got a lot of jazz in his blood and blues, but also country and rock and punk. And you put all that together, and it's something really special. So he's going to be on Wednesday night. And I'd kind of like to wrap this up before I log off, playing a tune that I dug up from a couple of years ago from the Continental Club in Austin, when I played with him, and Mitch Watkins was on guitar. Daniel Durham was on electric bass. Daniel doesn't play electric bass that often. At least people in town don't see him do it that often. He's such a great acoustic player. But he was playing electric on this gig, on the rock gig. And I think Warren Huff was playing violin. And maybe Carla Manzur was singing with us. I'm not sure. And I don't know if Brian Standifer was on this gig on cello. We'll have to listen in to tell. But I think that was essentially the band, was Warren, me, Mitch, Daniel, Alejandro. Maybe one of the other two were in there, but I'm going to have to listen to make sure. But anyway, I love this. It's not even a board tape. I just took a 2-channel Zoom recorder and stuck it over near the board and captured us playing Baby's Got New Plans. And I just love this arrangement and the energy of it, and the thrill of the sound of the crowd in the room there at the Continental Club. So check this out. I'm gonna stick on with you and listen. But this is Baby's Got New Plans. Excuse me. Alejandro Escovedo.
Her mistake was his mistake, and that's just how it stands. And everything that comes of it will linger on their hand. Live within their shadows, a shadow within a shadow, and it hangs like a grand mistake, but that's just how it hangs. Baby's got new plans, that's just where she stands. Baby's got new plans to take it home. His mistake was her mistake, and that's just how it lands. And all that they will make of it will slip between their hands and settle inside the places where flesh makes its demands. And they play like a grand mistake, but that's just how it lands. mistake was all it took to burn away the flame and cast a shadow on everything that came before that day. Wrap them in a memory from which they can't escape, and they lay like forgotten dreams, but that's just how they lay. Baby's got new plans, and that's just where she stands. Baby's got new plans to take it home. 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 Baby's got new plans to take it home.
I dig this false ending. This is cool. Again, live at the Continental Club a couple years ago with Alejandro Escovedo. Yeah. I'm with you, people. I'm with you. Oh, I dig it. Miss getting to do that. Oh, man, that was a fun night. Every time that I've played with Alejandro Escovedo, it's been different. It's so different from night to night. But the man never fails to bring his A game, no matter how he's feeling. He plays, he rocks so hard, and he puts so much into a performance. And that's why I love him so much, you know. He's a great guy, too, but he's very inspiring to play with. And we'll get into all of that on Wednesday night when he joins and play some other maybe little selections that I've saved from time on the road with him and, you know, and see what else is going on in his life, too. So that's Wednesday. Alejandro Escovedo, 8 o'clock, I think, is what we were going to do right here, Facebook Live and on YouTube. And if you are, I don't think I schedule it on YouTube. I think it just pops up. But if you're looking for a place where you can always know that's the place to go other than this Facebook page, I would say it's scottlanningham.com/SLRadio. That's where you can always find it. And you can always see the replay after the fact of things that I've done before. And of course, then and those are the YouTube posts that I put over there. So Alejandro on Wednesday, Tom Breckline on Friday, Vince Winkle and his family on Sunday. Little humor and music. Of course, there'll be some humor with Breckline too. I don't know. Those of you who don't know him, he's one funny dude. And then next Wednesday, the great Carmen Bradford. And other stuff in the works, more to come. I'm seeing people literally that jumped on tonight to check out a few seconds of this thing that I would love to have on the show. So, all of you are on notice. So anyway, thanks for checking this out and hanging with me at the ridiculous hour of, 11:56. But it helps me go to sleep doing one of these. So thank you all for being my sleeping pill for the night. Anyway, see you on Wednesday night. Scott, out.